two things the WWE needs to change today. And you know what? I'm gonna start it off. This is one. This is one in particular. The WWE is too PG still. Like, of course, they're trying to change up things with Retribution and the Raw Underground and everything like that, but it's still PG. The rivalries, the storylines seem like they can't be as great as they used to be because everything is still too like professional in a sense. Too like it doesn't have any. I just need some more oomph to it. It needs more oomph to it. Like back in the day when you were able to bleed, when you were able to just go above and beyond, and it wasn't PG. It just made everything more realistic and made me believe in it a lot more and get behind all the storylines. Outside of Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins and that whole rivalry, it's like every rivalry is kind of whack right now. And it's like, that's one thing. And then the main thing we've been harping on since the beginning of this particular podcast show is they don't seem like they know what they're doing with a bunch of wrestlers. So that's another thing they need to change. They need to get better. They need to get better with their creativeness in terms of building up characters. That's two things. How PG it is in the WWE and their lack of creativity in developing characters on the main roster at least. So that's my two things. Yes.
I agree with you because I would really love to just like I would really love to tear the walls down and just give everybody a fair chance because this is starting to get like irritating just seeing how I can literally count like a bunch of guys just back to back just not getting their dues, and I'm just wondering like why are you even in the WWE right now? I wonder about what these guys who are just showing up who are just there and not getting their fair shake. I'm like, come on now. I feel like the only wrestler that's getting like their proper build up and their time that's in the sunlight is like guys like Aleister Black and still guys like Seth Rollins, and I'm just like, man, when are they gonna make it a point to make these guys valued? Because I feel like we got a bunch of wrestlers who are great and could be at the top and not do anything right. So the first thing I would do is I would probably usurp, or if not, just get rid of Vince McMahon, because at the end of the day, he's the guy that's greenlighting everything. Or at least, make him step down or like switch his position, because it's starting to get to the point to where I'm starting to realize it's kind of getting irritating how a lot of wrestlers that are better and far beyond better than what they're given, and it's kind of just being like noticeable for everybody up the top to bottom. I feel like everybody should get the same love and attention like how Rey Mysterio is getting with Dominic and Seth Rollins. It's just like that same love and attention is not there for Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley. It's not there, obviously, with what's it called, with the Street Profits. It's not there with a lot of these guys. I just wish they would change that. And that'd be, for me personally, that would be the thing I do. I would try to give everybody the same love and attention that Edge and Randy Orton got. What's crazy is I think about it, back in the day, it used to be like that. A lot of subplots were going on that were actually entertaining to pay attention to.
Yeah. And
I feel like that'd be the first thing I change. I change the tippity top people who either write these guys' storylines, or if not the guy who is in charge. I'd change that. The second thing I'd change the belts. That'd be the second thing I'd change. That'd be the second thing. I hate the WWE. At first, I used to really like the WWE Universal Championship belt, but once I realized there's no personality to it, and for the brands, it's just like a different color. Two colors of what's separating them, I'd say, yo, man, it's time to switch that up.
Yes.
Bring back the World Heavyweight Championship belt, or go make another belt, because y'all are obviously knowing what y'all doing. Because the United States and Intercontinental look totally different from what they were, but they still look good. So I'd change that as well. Those would be like the two things I'd change about the WWE, man.
Oh, those are really good. Like you said, they do need to separate how the Universal Championship and the WWE Championship look. Like they shouldn't look the same, or just one is just a different color. Like this belt strap is just a different color. Like, come on now. Like, can we get more creative with this? And but yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like the like I said, the characters. They need to develop the characters more. And like you said, back in the day, there was a lot more subplots. We didn't just care about the main rivalries or the rivalries surrounded by the main championships. We cared about a lot of other things. So it's like they need to do that. They do it a little bit with the Hurt Business. They do it with, I guess, Dominic Mysterio, the Mysterios, and this whole rivalry with Seth Rollins and Murphy. But outside of that, it's a lot of great wrestlers that are being kind of not used right, or underused or underutilized. So it's like, yeah, they definitely need to work on that. But yeah, that is the two things that we both would change. And you mentioned about having Vince step down. I don't know if Vince will ever. I mean, I don't know who can really do that. He's the owner. He is WWE. So you can't really make Vince step down, but he can only relinquish his authority, or give some more, give other people more responsibility. Yeah. But I don't even know how much is Vince's fault though. Still, I mean, obviously we all go to Vince because he is the guy, but I'm like, maybe actually at the same time he's the one that hires the writers and all that type of stuff, so he can make a change for that. But yeah.
So one thing I do know about Vince, or just like understanding how the writing process goes, Vince is very, very, very. He's very attentive to like the big things that are happening, and like a lot of the small stuff kind of slips and seeks through the cracks. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people just don't pay attention or understand that. And a great example would be like, guys having to come up with their own concepts and then them having to make it fly or make it work for them. And that kind of makes sense because, people like John Cena had to create their own character and make it work. Then Vince McMahon would step in and, be like, all right, well, you're going to do this, that, and the third, and this is how I got you set up. And they're like, all right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And other times, though, guys have to make it, it's totally unscripted, and no one's telling this guy what to say or do. And this is obviously what they're doing. And like, granted, that would be CM Punk.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you another example. Like, there's obviously we don't know what to do with these three wrestlers, but the wrestlers have to come up with it themselves and make something happen out of nothing, which was the New Day, which was Xavier Woods' idea, and he put it on himself to make it work, and he knocked it out the park, I would say.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know whether it's creative that feels like, man, because it wasn't our idea, we don't want to run it, or man, it's hard to give a guy a chance because the fans aren't latching onto him. Yeah. But they got to figure it out because I feel like especially with guys like Apollo Crews, Cedric Alexander, and then especially with the current title run of Drew McIntyre, I'm like, bro, this is like one of the boringest title runs I've ever seen. I could have made this way better. All I need is a GM mode and a SmackDown 2K20, and this would have worked smoothly.
Man,
but this is not cutting it. That's just, oh man, it's just, I don't know what they're doing.
They could do a lot. They could do a lot better. They definitely could do a lot better. Yeah.